When we fail to take that Sabbath, to enjoy that Sabbath, we fail to get the rest, rejuvenation, replenishment that we need so we can turn back out and turn back around and go back out and do what God has called us to do. Hey everyone, I'm dqclarke, and this is your weekly Bible study parable on Should Christians Keep the Sabbath? Each week I present a parable to you guys on a biblical topic or life principle. We talk about the meaning, the interpretation, and how it can apply to your life. Let's get started. So, the parable. There was a mother who loved her little son very much. She loved that he was so kind. He was always helping others. She loved that he was so good. He was obedient and always did what he was told. And she loved his personality. He was funny and smart and just a joy to be around. He had one trait that concerned her just a bit though. While he was happy and outgoing, kind and compassionate, thoughtful and considerate, he was also a very hard worker. You might think, that doesn't sound bad. Being a hard worker is excellent. That's great. But the mother knew best, so she watched the boy. He was a great little boy. During the week, he liked to be busy. He did not like to waste time. He was diligent and studious in school. After school, he would do his chores, do the next day's homework, help his little sister with her homework, and then walk the neighbor's dog. And Saturday mornings, he mowed lawns for extra money. He was saving for a new bike. He would then go to baseball practice and end the day with swim lessons and practicing the language he was learning at school. On Sundays, of course, he would go to church with his family. He volunteered after church to help clean the sanctuary and then would go back to the optional evening service to volunteer in the sound room to help those who ran the service. He was going. His mom knew that each of these activities were really important to him, so she decided to make him a special meal that he could take to school and take to all of his activities. This special meal would keep him going, sustain him, and help him to focus and have the energy he needed to keep up with all of his activities. Well, the boy was grateful. He would eat the meal at lunch and then snack on the snacks throughout the day. And surprisingly, they did help him to focus and to keep up with things. He would eat another meal after school when working or helping someone. Those meals helped him then too. He took the meals to all of his activities on the weekends, and the meals helped him then as well. As time went on and the boy continued with his busy schedule, he would sometimes forget about the meals. He would run a little late for school and sometimes would forget or just not take the time to grab the meal before school. He would yell over his shoulder, "I'll grab something at school, Mom," and then head out the door. He would take the meals with him to his after-school activities, but he would forget to eat them. "Things just got too busy, Mom, I forgot. I'll save it for tomorrow." This would happen on the weekend as well. He would get too busy and he would forget to eat the meals. After a couple of weeks, he started to move a little slower. He wasn't his happy, outgoing, relaxed, but hardworking self anymore. He was short with people like his sister, he was impatient, and he was getting irritable. His schoolwork was slipping, his chores weren't done to their usual best, and his volunteer leaders started to talk about his attitude and his work schedule. The mother met the son one day before he rushed off to another activity. She told him that she had canceled all of his activities and wanted to talk with him. He was furious. How dare she cancel his activities? Those people needed him. Things couldn't run as smoothly without him. What was she doing? She understood his frustration, but she sat him down and she spoke with him firmly but kindly. "Son, if you don't take the time to eat the special meals like I prepared for you, you won't have the energy and stamina and focus to continue in your schedule. These meals are precious and important. They are what help you to get everything done." And he knew she was right. The next morning, he made sure to grab the meal before he left for school, and he made sure to make time to eat it throughout the day. And what do you know? He started to feel like his old self again. And that evening, he took the meal with him, and how about that? He had the energy to finish his work early. That weekend, he took the meals with him and ate them, and his happy, kind attitude returned. After a couple of weeks of being sure to eat the special meals, the boy returned to his hardworking, happy, outgoing, wonderful self. So, the interpretation. So in this parable, we have a boy who is one hardworking young man. He represents all of us individually. His mother represents God, meaning God as our parent. The boy has a pretty hectic schedule and is actually pretty helpful. He works hard in his job and in school. He helps others by tutoring them, volunteering, and helping them with certain tasks. And he seeks to improve himself by learning new skills and participating in sports. He is a go-getter and he's good at what he does. And some of us are like this. We use time and we use it wisely. We work well and we work hard, either in a job or in school. We help others through church or through programs in our community. We like to learn and grow and participate in activities. And some of us are just going, and we like it. We like contributing and helping, learning and being involved. But the boy's schedule starts to wear on him. He becomes weary, tired, irritable, and slack in some of his duties. His work starts to suffer and his attitude starts to change. And why? Because he doesn't eat the special meals that his mom prepares for him. He doesn't feel he has the time. He forgets he has too much to do. And here, the special meals represent rest, and rest references the Sabbath. The Sabbath is mentioned by both the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, and the New Testament, but it's taken differently by different parties. God first commands that man recognize the Sabbath in the very beginning of the Bible, in the book of Genesis. The Bible says that on the seventh day, God finishes his work and all that he had done, and he rested on that day from all that he had done. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. He sanctified it because he rested from all the work he had done. So God sets the example. He worked for 6 days and then he rested from all that he had done, from all of creation on the seventh day. He blessed that day and he sanctified it because he rested, and this was to be an example for us. But during the Old Testament and in the intertestamental period, which is the period between the Old and the New Testament, the Sabbath was added to in a way. There were many laws, rules, and regulations for what people could and could not do on the Sabbath. And this applied to God's chosen people, the nation of Israel, the Jewish people, because Christ had not yet come. And some of the Jewish faith still follow various laws and rules and regulations that were established. But when Jesus came, Jesus clarified what the Sabbath day should be. Jesus said that the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Basically, some leaders of religious law had made the Sabbath into a day where men served the day's rituals and routines rather than having the day serve them. So to be clear, Jesus is not abolishing the Sabbath. He clarifies what it should be and why it should be followed. It should be a day that helps men and women walk out this life that God has given them. It should be a treat, a respite, a day of relaxation and rejuvenation. The Sabbath is a gift from God. And when the boy in the parable failed to eat the special meal his mother had made him, or rather, when we fail to take that Sabbath, to enjoy that Sabbath, we fail to get the rest, rejuvenation, replenishment that we need so we can turn back out and turn back around and go back out and do what God has called us to do. So there are 3 key points I want to leave with you regarding should Christians keep the Sabbath. Number 1, the Sabbath is meant to be a blessing, not a hindrance. All of us are busy. All of us are family members, friends, volunteers, churchgoers, community members, and so forth and so on. We have work deadlines, children to raise, meetings to attend, dinners to cook, laundry to do. It may seem like taking the Sabbath is a waste of time, or that we just don't have the time. How can we keep up with our schedule if we take a whole day off? And God is funny. His ways are funny. His thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. We will sometimes feel like we need more time to get everything done. But God says if we honor him in his ways, he'll actually help us to get more done in the remainder of the time than we would have gotten done if we had not taken the Sabbath and taken the whole time. God hasn't given us the Sabbath to hold us back or to harm us. He's given us the Sabbath to help us and to propel us. 2, you don't have to be legalistic about the Sabbath. The Sabbath can be flexible. It used to be that the Sabbath was for a particular day, for a particular time, and you had to follow it exactly. But when Jesus came, he showed us another way. Jesus healed on the Sabbath, taught on the Sabbath, and traveled and ate on the Sabbath. But Jesus also often went off to lonely, isolated places to get replenished and refreshed by his Father, meaning he took a Sabbath. And perhaps it wasn't a day that the religious leaders had designated in his time, but it was a day, it was a time period that he took to get rested and replenished. Perhaps you work weekends, or you work 7 days off, 7 days on. Perhaps you don't know your work schedule week to week. You don't have to take a Sabbath each week on a particular day if your schedule doesn't allow, or you can take a Sabbath on a particular day if your schedule does allow. The point is to take time to get rested and to get refreshed by God so that you are then ready for the next round of work. And 3, trust God with your time and your responsibilities. The thing about the boy in the parable is that he believed that the world would stop if he wasn't there to hold it up. And some of us believe that too. We think that if we are not there to hold things together, things will just fall apart. But it really won't. Seriously, it won't. The work will still be there. The kids will still be okay. The activities and committees and meetings and such will still be there when you get back. And actually taking that break will most likely help you to be better when you do go back. So trust God with the time, the work, the responsibilities, all of it. He's the one who's really holding everything together. He's got them and he's got you. So should Christians keep the Sabbath? The answer is yes. Whether you set aside the same day every week, a half day on Tuesday morning, or 2 days every 2 weeks, the point is to make time to get refreshed, to get rejuvenated, to rest. God can really help you take care of more in less time if you trust Him. It was so great spending this time with you guys. God is so pleased when we seek to learn more about Him. He loves that. He loves us, and He loves getting involved in our day-to-day lives. If you enjoy the contents of this video, please subscribe to my channel. We do this every single week. I present a parable to you guys. We talk about the meaning, the interpretation, and how it can apply to your life. And thank you, as always, for giving this video a thumbs up and leaving a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you have suggestions for parables you'd like me to write in the future, leave those in the comments down as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have an amazing week. God loves you. I'll see you next time.